Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out this headline. U.S. digital dollar runs on XRP XLM. Confirmed? Somebody roll that beautiful intro so we can find out.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content. Right now, $832 billion market cap for cryptocurrency. We're off by 1.6% this morning. Good morning, everybody. Bitcoin right now, 16,600 plus. Ethereum, $1,194.94. Tether market cap is $66.2 billion, they say. XRP right now is 35 cents. It's up 2.6% on 7-day. Here we go. Guys, if you have not done it, time is running out. There's 3 days left. You can get a 1-year membership right now. Exclusive VIP ticket live event. By the way, we've locked in a very important key figure from this community. It is going to be amazing. Stay tuned for details on that. Weekly live stream happening tonight. And if your life is busy, you don't have to watch every video. I'm going to give you the overview of what you need. And I can tell you this too. You can see from the topics on the side. Let me just show you right here. I'll just show you. You can see from the topics on the side how organized this platform is and all the information that you can see and get into. We are doing it in this group. Let me tell you something. This community is super uber smart and supportive. We make sure you get the understanding, the knowledge, and the tools you're going to need. You know what the next Phoenix Rising in this space is? It's us. Join that group. You'll find out why. Let's get started. Right here, you'll see Anthony Welfare, Ripple Advisor. 2022 was not good for NASDAQ. Stop saying crypto is so bad when the main market is down so much more in money terms and similar in percentage terms. Blockchain technology is at the beginning of its life. These stocks are at the midpoint or the end. Go Anthony laying it down this morning. I think he makes a fantastic point. And talking about things being at the beginning and blockchain's just getting started, take a look at this right here. Voting is open, baby. Yeah, you can do it, and I'm doing it today. Help shape the future of Songbird. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to vote today. You better believe it. I'm going to make it happen. Voting on STP.0.01 is opening on the Flare portal for the next 7 days. Flare community has an amazing video on this. You can watch, or you can click on this too and learn how to vote. Like I said, I'm excited to take part in that today. I also wrapped my Songbird today. We're doing all that kind of stuff in this group. It's amazing. We're getting so excited. By the way, weekly live stream tonight is going to be on exit strategy, how to keep your wealth. We're going to talk about a great book, What Would the Rockefellers Do? And boy, oh boy, we are going to get into it. I have to admit, this does feel timely, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to look at some information that is compelling. We'll let you decide whether it's confirmed, but take a look at what we've had to bear just in the last week or two. 12:14, Max Kaiser attacks XRP. 12:16, Charles Hoskinson begins a second Twitter spat about XRP. And then dug in and said the technology is basically worthless, doesn't do what it needs to. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was getting at. Jim Cramer attacked XRP. Vitalik Buterin calls XRP centralized. Calvin Ayre, CoinGeek founder, goes after XRP. Dr. Craig S. Wright attacks XRP and gets into a huge back and forth spat with David Schwartz. All this in December. What are we to make of it? And then there's stuff like this that comes out here, where we start seeing, what is going on here? Well, I pulled the actual document. Shout out to the ISO GOAT for this. But Jayesh Mehta, and forgive me, Jayesh, if I've said it wrong, but a nationally recognized advanced technology leader. He does things in many different areas of science and technology. He's had more than 65 peer reviews of his work in other areas, but also has another founder of another startup, Platinum Trading Institute, which performs quality research in FX and cryptocurrency economics. Well, let's get to this paper. We covered this a while back. But what's interesting is that let's understand the Digital Dollar Project, headed up by Chris Giancarlo and others, is absolutely working with Ripple. Now, it doesn't mean it's a guarantee. We all know this. We are speculating as we move through this material. That's what we're here for. We're trying to get as much information as we possibly can. And don't we understand that this is the goal, right? Everything runs on the ledger. Isn't it true that if we are watching the de-dollarization campaign take place from all BRICS coalition members and new joining members, pulling away from the U.S. dollar, aren't we to understand that that means, especially Saudi Arabia potentially joining BRICS, agreeing to use the Chinese yuan and not the U.S. dollar through the Shanghai exchange when buying and selling oil? That's a huge, huge step away from the dollar. That is a de-dollarization campaign because of the petrodollar, right? I think that is a signal to the United States that Saudi Arabia doesn't want to honor the petro agreement anymore. That's what it feels like to me. And that's where a lot of confidence in the dollar comes from as the global reserve currency. So now what are we moving to? I suggest that the new confidence is two things. One, a network and decentralized exchange like the XRP Ledger that is exactly what it is, a decentralized exchange. That functionality and capability it cannot be overstated. Then, create a digital retail US dollar that absolutely keeps the privacy at a constitutional level for its citizens and anyone as a citizen of the globe. I think those two elements alone make it so attractive in the new age that we're going to that's where the real value is. Offer the best version of a digital dollar on the planet and put it on and connect it and plug it into a decentralized exchange for the world. Recreating the most liquid, the most secure and private digital version of the paper dollar we have today. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like where we're shifting to, not to mention moving from a debt-based system to a multi-asset backed system. Let's look through some of this information here. JS writes here, the road to U.S. digital dollar. I'm going to bring you right to it. We've talked about this before, but as we move closer, and we're getting ready to look at some stablecoin legislation in just 1 second, so bear with us here. But Platinum Trading Institute put this together and basically says here, and it may have been for Harvard Office of the Vice Provost for Advanced Learning. I can't confirm that, but what I can say is that he absolutely shows the basic utility of the blockchains XLM and XRP, combined with artificial intelligence and machine learning, known as AI and ML. Now, as we move through all of this, and you'll see here the normal path of these things. I want to get you down to where we need to be here, right? It shows all of the pain points and the problems, right? If we get down into this is where we start to see it. Why the digital dollar currency? It says digital 21st century is underserved by analog reserve currency. A digital dollar would help future-proof the greenback and allow individuals, global enterprises to make payments in dollars irrespective of space and time. That comes from Chris Giancarlo Digital Dollar Project. Blockchain technology is sufficiently matured to address the needs of fiat currency in digital format. In addition, AI, machine learning, are evolving rapidly. FX trading platforms are now AI and somewhat machine learning compatible. It says smartphone and internet-based global and national trade have expanded significantly to the tune of $1 trillion in 2020 alone. Two blockchain-based protocols, Ripple XRP and Stellar Lumens XLM, are gaining popularity as the coin of choice for many international businesses. Now, like I said, we know that there's referencing Chris Giancarlo and the Digital Dollar Project. We absolutely know for a fact that Ripple is working with the Digital Dollar Project. And that's there's still a lot of speculation there, but that is a big deal, right? Now, let me come down here and get to the section, and you should read this whole thing, and I absolutely will have it on my Twitter, right? And I'll certainly post it in the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. Right here, you see Stellar XLM blockchain. It breaks down what it can do. We know that. Ripple, XRP, right? Stellar's referred to more like a front end kind of retail currency facing interaction. XRP more like a back end, right? Then it shows this patent here, which actually is from Visa. We're going to talk about that because we've actually reported on the Visa patent before. In fact, I'll get to it in just one second, but it shows this architect transaction processing network that we all seem to be focusing on. Like, what could that be, right? Could it be XRP? Could it be XLM? We don't know the answer, right? But what we do know, however, is, let me just close this for a second here, is this. I reported on this back in 2020 and other times. Visa patent filing would allow central banks to mint digital fiat currencies using blockchain. It's interesting. And they're talking about the US dollar as well. What's interesting about this, Visa looks to be laying the groundwork for a future in which it says to be a future in which fiat currencies such as the US dollar could easily turn into a central bank digital currency. California-based payments giant, which processes upward of 100 million transactions every day on average, has filed a patent application for a process for turning physical fiat currency into a newly digitized version. Now, what's absolutely interesting about that is this. The filing, which was filed by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in November of 2020, made public on Thursday, says that the system itself would be able to mint digital fiat currency and keep a tally of all issuance on the blockchain managed by a central entity computer. That's interesting. The system would also remove physical cash from circulation. How about that one? You know what's so interesting about that Visa patent is that they do not hold the patent on the US dollar. So what makes them think that they are all clear, go ahead to be able to digitize a dollar you don't hold or control the patent on? Something has to be in tandem with the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury, one would think, right? So now we get down here, and here's the other part people are focusing on, besides the fact that roadmap is spelled Mao. But nevertheless, it is Platinum Trading Institutes that did this paper, appears for the Harvard Advanced Learning, right? We'll see. Again, looking at all of this to just try to understand the information and whether it's pertinent today or not, right? Is it confirmed or is it still conjecture? I think it's still speculative, but it certainly shines a light on how I see things working to a degree, that's for sure. It talks about machine learning controlled FX interface. I remind you how excited David Schwartz was to talk about the automated market maker for the XRP ledger, cutting out arbitrage and all of those things, right? It says sends crypto to receiver, immutably verification implemented through XRP blockchain, execution controlled by machine learning language, implemented smart contract. It says here receiver uses private key given by the sender receive funds, XRP or XLM tokens. Receiver again converts crypto to her choice of fiat currency, instantaneous or at a future date. Future date execution to be controlled by machine language driven smart contracts. You know, this is kind of what we know, right? I mean, what we have to wonder is how close are we to it actually taking place? And I happen to say that if you combined it with what we understand now, right, about the Stablecoin Trust Act that was put forth by Senator Toomey, who will be retiring in about another week or so. He had this to say, and as we know, stablecoins is the first place that they have to have legislation. Why? Because it's the bottleneck. It's the way that governments are going to control this digital asset space. It may not be their dollar, but if it's pegged to their dollar, you can bet your sweet fanny that they're going to have something to say about it, and it's going to come in the way of regulation. And from what I know about this bill, this might not be a bad place to start. However, we do have to wonder how quickly or how much the government, whether it's the Senate or House of Representatives, will take, how seriously they will take this legislation, because Senator Toomey is retiring. That doesn't mean what he put forth isn't worth working with, though. Stablecoins are an exciting technological development that could transform money and payments by digitizing the U.S. dollar and making it available on a global, instant, nearly cost-free basis. Stablecoins could be widely used across the physical economy in a variety of ways. I hope this framework lays out the groundwork for my colleagues to pass legislation next year. Safeguarding customer funds without inhibiting innovation, I've put forward a regulatory model that won't undermine competition by favoring entrenched incumbents. For example, by limiting payment stablecoin issuance to insured depository institution, this bill will also ensure the Federal Reserve, which has displayed significant skepticism about stablecoins, won't be in a position to stop this activity. How about that one? That's one of the reasons I really like it. Look, hey, where this goes, nobody knows. But I'll tell you this. It is clear to me that we are approaching a moment where there will have to be legislation to deal with the bottleneck of how you get in and out of this market. Let me quickly surmise what I see coming here, and it's a forecast. We know from John Deaton and others, and we certainly talked about it, and I believe it here, that it won't be long, hours if not days. Gary Gensler is going to be suing a U.S. exchange or multiple exchanges. That's going to force them to delist. If they have to delist, then they're going to go out of business or come close to it. Now you ask yourself, what is different about this market from the conventional, traditional markets? Then I say to myself, there is a New York Stock Exchange, and none of us buy directly from the stock exchange. We have to go through a broker dealer like a Fidelity and so forth. Isn't that the plan? Destabilize the exchanges, which is the centralized point in which you get onto the platform to buy digital assets and crypto. And isn't it so that you have to convert your money to a stablecoin if you want to get in and out of the thing? These two areas are extremely critical for where we're going. I would also forecast that there's a good chance that if we're going to see the agencies like Gary Gensler's SEC currently right now mirror the traditional markets, then maybe that platform known as BACT, B-A-K-K-T, which just so happens to be owned by the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange, the Intercontinental Exchange. Maybe that rises from the ashes because it's been awful quiet. And maybe BACT becomes the NYSE for crypto. And maybe what exchanges are left are forced to plug into it and have a broker-dealer's license. And then all of a sudden, today's market in the digital asset space looks like yesterday's conventional market in the stock world. Not financial advice from me or anyone else, but time is running out, ladies and gentlemen. This case is coming to a close. If you're going to buy Ripple, you could do it on Link2. If you want to get Uphold, you better do it on Link2 or PolySign as well. So many great products and great specials and deals. Make sure you click the link underneath the video and check it out for yourself. Again, not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives.